Hi, welcome to Your Black World News. I'm your host, Roosevelt Mitchell III. Today I'm joined by Mrs. Angela Beasley, who is the CEO of Excitement Radio, and we're discussing Taraji P. Henson speech last night as she received her Golden Globe. And during her speech, she stated that she thought that she would have won this award a long time ago with different roles that she played, but it took her playing Cookie Lyon, a woman who was in jail for 17 years for selling drugs. So, Angie, I want to ask you, what did you think about her speech?
I like the fact that she was brave enough to say exactly how she felt. I believe a lot of people get up there and they feel that way and they never mention it. I don't know for whatever reason they don't mention it, but I think it was great that she got up there. And it's funny because you could see when she was doing the interview, they were panning the camera to different people in the audience at the awards, and they were looking like, "Oh my God!" Like she did not just say this. So I think it's great that she spoke up and said, "Hey, I thought I should have won this for another performance."
I think it was great as well, and for her to speak up because you can tell how Will Smith and all the other people was clapping like, yeah, she's telling the truth, right? Right. You got to speak up. Exactly. Okay, so let's address the fact of not only does she feel this way, like why does African American actors have to play certain roles in order for them to win it? And I will preface that with Denzel Washington. He didn't win it until he played the crooked cop in Training Day, in which a lot of people thought that his Malcolm X performance was better, or Halle Berry in Monsters Ball.
I'm sorry, I forgot about his Malcolm X performance, and that was phenomenal. But then
Exactly.
again, I'm biased because I'm a big Malcolm X fan. But
Oh, we all are, but for but for him to play that giant role in Malcolm X and to do what he did with it, I think he deserved an award. But I'm not voting. But a lot of people did, and Halle Berry didn't win it until she played in Monsters Ball. So,
yeah, she also played in Queen, and she also played Catwoman, and with Taraji P. Henson, she was in Benjamin Button, which, as we were talking about earlier, that was a phenomenal film. And she's done The Karate Kid, which I think she said thought she might have won something in that. I mean, okay, Denzel Washington, Malcolm X. We're in the USA. You're not going to get an award for playing Malcolm X. Unfortunately, we all know what it's about. If we don't know what it's about, then we're deluding ourselves. Nobody's going to get a award for playing Malcolm X, even if you brought Malcolm X back from the dead and he played it himself, because of the content and the nature of what it represents
okay, what about Glory?
in America.
Okay, what about Glory? He did a great job in Glory. Denzel. In the movie Glory, where he played the soldier, I believe. He did.
Unfortunately, I did not watch that.
I love Training Day. I watched it the other night. He did his thing in Training Day. I love Training Day. But
When Excitement Radio first started, we interviewed Cherie Johnson. She's an actress that was on Punky Brewster, and she played on Family Matters. And she actually brought this topic up, and she said that when she was younger, when she first started or first got into acting, she was told by an actress, and I believe it was Cicely Tyson, that she called her over while they were backstage and they had a conversation, and she told her something, and if I get it a little bit screwed up, excuse me, but she said she, talked to her about acting, and she had told Miss Tyson that they wanted her to play a bunch of maid, slave, housekeeper roles, and she told her, "Honey, you don't have to do that because I've already done that for you. I've set the tone." So that was years ago. And Cherie Johnson herself has said she refuses to play those roles, and she has lost, or not lost, but has bypassed a lot of potential opportunities because she refused to play those roles, and that a lot of time that African American or dark skinned women or even Hispanic women are asked to play those type of roles, and she refuses to do it. Now, back to um, Miss Henson, you know, I really am not sure how I feel about her winning something, and whether it matters how I feel about her winning something for this particular role. This television show is extremely popular. So, whether or not these awards have anything to do with how popular a show has become across America, I know, white people and black people, everyone watches this show. I don't watch it because I'm not into that type of thing. Whether or not she should have won an award on another show, I don't know. I do feel like Halle Berry winning an award for Monster. I mean, I can see where that makes sense. She did everything I've seen Halle Berry in has been great. Halle Berry is a phenomenal actress. Obviously, Miss Henson is also a phenomenal actress. Should Halle Berry have won in Monster? I think so, because it pulled her away from what she actually is. It wasn't the I'm biracial, I'm a black woman show. It was a whole different thing. So it was a very challenging role. So I think that her winning an award in that particular circumstance was appropriate.
Well, and many would argue that okay, she did a great job, but she should have won or could have won in other roles as well. So why not has she had one of those other roles, or even what you say, what you said about Taraji and her winning it and alluding to the fact about the popularity of the show is very interesting because we know that Rupert Murdoch, the owner of Fox, owns it, and they spend millions and millions and millions for people to watch this show. So, I think that's very interesting because that may had something to do with it as well. To where, the remake of Karate Kid wasn't as popular as Empire, right? So maybe, so maybe that, so maybe that plays a part of the popularity aspect.
Yeah, I mean, and she's done so much work and has been in so many different films. So, the fact that she's just winning something now, I mean, I don't know. And, I know people are going to make their little comments about the coonery and the half-breed comment and all this shit. But I, I think that sometimes we look for everything to be an issue. Um, I think that this show is just extremely popular. I mean, it's one of the most popular shows in the United States, period. I don't think her winning it has to do with the fact that her role is a negative role. I think it has to do with the popularity of the show. I mean, that's just my opinion. On these other circumstances, on these other, situations, with Denzel and Halle Berry and a lot of other actors or actresses, is it a race or prejudice thing? Probably. This situation, I don't feel like it is. But who am I?
Well, not race or prejudice, but as far as race, as far as reinforcing, it's almost like black people have to reinforce certain stereotypes in order to win it. Like the terminology you use as far as stepping outside their role or whatever and playing roles, right? Which is a big factor in acting. That's great, right? But yet and still, it's like other races doesn't have to stretch or live up to stereotypes.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you, but come on, she's been in a lot of big movies and played, the not so positive role model for black women and has not won probably deserved an award. So she could have won an award or something in those negative roles. You can make that argument too. This particular role is it's out there. Like she's killing it. You know what I'm saying? She's doing her thing. She's Karate Kid. Come on now. Who watched the remake of Karate Kid? I mean, I'm sure a lot of people watched it, but did anyone win an award in Karate Kid? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Karate Kid win any awards for the remake, and I'm not talking about the originals that we watched back when I was a kid. I mean, nobody cared about Karate Kid, the remake. So why would you win an award in that? It doesn't make any sense. No matter what role you played, even if you probably went in there and performed that like the best actress that ever lived, were you going to win an award in it? No, nobody cared about the movie. I mean, that's just how I feel. You know, this opens it up for her to win awards in other things, and if she feels, you know, since she is a person who spoke up and she speaks up about a lot of things, I think now it's up to her, because she knows what's going on. She sees that it took a role where she was playing this negative hurt, or where she was holding down a role that had certainly a kind of a negative connotation to it. That now it's up to her, that she's reached this level to say, okay, it's time for me to direct or produce my own show or my own movie and have African American women in it with positive roles, and let's get them some awards.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think her speaking out will help or hurt her winning another award?
I don't think it's going to hurt her. I really don't. I think that she's reached a status where, I don't know. I see that when people bitch and complain about things and they don't do anything about it, it really doesn't resolve anything. But when you get up there and you take a stand, you're going to get some negative feedback, and you're going to get some roles taken away from you, or you're going to have some people hold out on you. But what I have experienced or seen and watching people in situations is that when you take a stand and you stand up and you say something or you do something that no one has ever had the balls to do, you usually wind up with it. It usually, something good comes out of it. Or someone, it may not be you. You may not directly gain from it, but someone is going to gain from that, because you spoke up and you give, you know, when you have balls and you stand up there in front of somebody, you give other people balls. I know that sounds crazy, but you know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, you know exactly what you're saying. You know, that she was kicking down the doors and shedding light on this situation for the actors that's coming behind her, or even other actors who acting with her. Right.
She's saying what it is. Other people, when you have courage, you know, it's just like a Malcolm X or Martin Luther King. When somebody stands up and they say, and they what they call no holds barred or whatever they call it, and they have the courage to say what they really feel, and they say it in front of a bunch of people, that can't be denied. Other people start to come forward, and it causes action. It's taking action. So I feel like she took action and needed to be taken, and that it's going to make things progress.
Okay, well, I thank you so much for your time and also for your commentary, because talking to you about any subject is always very interesting, so I thank you. I hope you all enjoyed this section of Your Black World News, and please leave all your comments in the section below. And until next time, my friends, be blessed and be encouraged.